What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today we're talking about Matco tools. Now this is everything I own that's Matco tools and why. So let's start off with this. This is the first thing I ever got. Actually, this is the first thing I ever got, just a magnet tray. I didn't have any tools starting out, and I was using my team leads, and you can tell this one's pretty beat up. But you know, just to put bolts on there, just to keep them tight, just to keep myself organized. I got that tray first. I did get that from the truck. It was like 20 bucks when I got it. Looking back, that was probably a dumb purchase. I mean, you can get them way cheaper. Like, I got this one from Lowe's for like 13 bucks, and it's, you know, double the size. But I did pick this up. I do love it. I use it every day. These two are probably my most used trays. I recently picked this one up, but I'll tell you about that later. I got this air chuck used for about 75 bucks. I think it's normally about 180, but I got it from a tech that was moving, getting out of the industry, so I felt like it was a pretty good purchase. This is probably my favorite chuck that I've used. There are similar ones, but I do enjoy the Matco. Here's a socket set here. I also got this used. It was missing the 7, and I lost the 12, so I actually replaced it with a snap-on. But it's pretty funny. You can see that the snap-on 12 is actually smaller than the 11 and the 10. But yeah, I picked up this set for about 40 bucks used, maybe 35, from a buddy of mine, which was a great deal, especially when I didn't have any impact shallow sockets. Got this very early on in my career. Now let's go to these tools here. Now I got all this together from here down together. So I got this extended extra long T20. Now I've recently learned that, you know, WIT, this company here, manufactures a lot of their screwdrivers and these picks. Now I will say these picks are phenomenal. You can get them on Amazon, you just can't get them in your color of choice, but they're phenomenal. They're made in Germany, so it's super high quality, and I actually prefer the handles over like the snap-on. But you know, they have nice beefy handles. You can see my 90s, my most used pick. So all this stuff here I got in a retirement sale. So my Matco man was retiring, so all of this got it for a fraction of the cost. This stuff was almost free. Like how cheap it was. You know, usually I go over prices, but like I don't think anybody would believe me how cheap I got these. I got this set. If anyone knows the original manufacturer, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to look them up to see if I can get the hose pliers. But these are pretty good. I retired a cheaper set that I got on Amazon that was super cheap. So these are a lot nicer. I went ahead and picked up these these locking extensions. These have been great, especially in tight places. You know, don't want your sockets flying off. And also got these Connect picks. Now these things are phenomenal tools. The only reason I would ever buy Matco Connect picks is because of the deal I got, like almost free. Other than that, I think it's completely pointless to buy the Matco version of the Connect picks. I mean, you can see it's right there, Connect picks. It's just got the branding and the green color. That's the only reason I would see to like buy them off the truck. But like I said, you know, retirement discount. So all of this stuff was like 100 bucks. Like, yeah, it was extremely cheap stuff. And I bought this one very specific reasons. Got it for some exterior lights on like the Q5s, for instance. Now, what I have that I've purchased from the truck full price are going to be these 3 items. So I've got this is the I recently picked up. It's just the Audi hose reservoir adapter, so I can do pressure tests. I have a Mac pressure tester, but it was missing this adapter, so I did have to pick that up recently. I've got this. You know, this was definitely a splurge. I do like the Matco ratchets. you know, they are exclusive to Matco. So I do justify, you know, buying this one from the truck full price. It is expensive. It's very expensive, but it's phenomenal. It's got a real thin head, you know, flex in all types of directions. So I just went ahead and treated myself to this. Usually I do not go for Matco. I do not particularly like spending tool truck money, but I don't know, just an impulse buy. But I also bought this guy. It's a soldering iron. You know, here's the part number. This one was actually pretty good. I got this on the tool truck deal. Now this is like the higher output version. Now I did see on the magazine when I bought it, the red one, which is a little bit of a smaller battery, lower heat type of thing, and it was like 118. So I was able to. It was out of stock and back order. So my Matco man offered me this one, and I got it for quite a discount. I think I paid $150 total, and usually it's $200, something like that. But it works great. The soldering tips are good. This one's a little bit beat up, but I will say though, when it comes to like melting heat shrink, this does not work great. I mean, it is a battery powered, so if you're actually doing solders, it's phenomenal. But this heating coil for heating up that shrink wrap is subpar. A lighter works a little bit better for that. But I did pick up a heat gun for it, you know. But, you know, I don't even solder anymore. So this is kind of wasted money, to be honest. And then here's some special mentions. These are both gear wrench bodies. I didn't make a short about this, but I actually swapped the internals for Matco. Now, I believe that the Matco internals are much better than the gear wrench. You can get a 84 tooth compared to the 88. You can get much smoother a ratchet, much less back drag. So I think this is quite the upgrade. Like I said, this one's $200. You know, these Matco ratchets get to 150, 180 for even the 1/4 inch. So for an $11 gear, an anvil in a $20 body, I think it's super worth it to upgrade your ratchets. It's a super quick, easy, and cheap upgrade. Now this is the latest, greatest thing I picked up from Matco. Get the 1/4 inch extended ratchet with 2-back battery set. I thought it was a pretty good deal. When I found it at Home Depot, it was like $10 cheaper getting it through Matco, which is pretty cool. Got the receipt, $357. Not so bad. I know this ratchet by itself is $250, and I think you can get these battery packs on sale for like $100. But usually they're a lot more. So either way, like Home Depot had a sale. You know, if you get it for complete retail, it's a lot more. The honorable mention would be this headlight from Milwaukee. I did get this off the Matco truck. I got it for $200. Everywhere online it was about $150, but it came with this battery. So this is $113 by itself, so I thought it was a pretty good deal. Like, share, and subscribe for more content.